The song is called Earth, Lil Dicky. How do I even begin to describe that song? It's not just you. It's not just Benny Blanco, who, of course, your erstwhile trusted colleague who helped you put that together.
Yeah.
It is a veritable smorgasbord of amazing talent who have stepped up to give us what effectively is a modern We Are the World, but it's more like we need the world.
Initially, like 2 or 3 years ago when I started working on the song with Benny, my idea was really just about, what if we got different artists to play animals, and like it like really wasn't like conscious or like very environmental in its origin. It was like, I've always wanted to, I love animals so much. And I was like, what if we got different artists to play different animals? And then kind of like, as we kept working on the song, like it kind of like, I had this vague understanding of what was going on about how like humanity is polluting the earth, like I had like that, I knew that we were doing something wrong, but I really didn't know the details of it. And then as I really began actually making the song, I was like, well, I need to actually like understand fully what really is going on. And when I did that, I was just blown away by the facts at hand. Like I didn't realize how urgent this situation is, and how like if we don't in the next 12 years completely change the way we do pretty much everything. So it became like what started as like this really like silly little fun idea that like vaguely I was like, let's tie this to environmentalism, now became like my life's most important work. And I think what I want this song to do is to put others on the journey of discovery. I don't know how this isn't what everyone's talking about at all times. Like literally like the earth is like falling apart.
So you and Benny Blanco made the record.
Yeah.
Who did you reach out to first? Well, first of all, do you have a roll call? Do you know off the top of your head who's on it?
Yeah, to an extent.
I've got one here, which is a TBD. I'm not sure if he made it, so maybe we have to cut this out.
Kanye?
Yeah.
Kevin Hart played Kanye.
Oh, he just backed out.
He didn't back out. I just couldn't reach the man. I knew I was going to reach out, and I waited. I just wanted to give him the best possible package to show him. I had such a small window, I'm telling you, and I just couldn't get a hold of him because he's like the most interesting man. He's very difficult to get a hold of.
Yes.
But the animation was so far along that it still had to be his avatar coming, and I'm Kanye West. So I reached out to Kevin Hart and I said, hey, Kevin, will you play Kanye? And he said, yeah.
What was your pitch to get people involved in the song? Because you must have got very good at it. Because there's a lot of people you
I'm
had to
a good
get.
pitcher.
I know you are.
Between me and Benny, like we have like a bunch of relationships, and I forget I know Charlie Puth was the first, and then I went to Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
And I just like got like this nice, interesting 5 or so, and like Bieber was one of the first ones too. And then it becomes like, hey, do you want to get in a song with Justin Bieber, Snoop Dogg, Charlie Puth, 2 more people?
The business card theory.
It's all for a good cause. It's all about saving the environment, and it's only everyone's line is so short.
Quick.
So it's like, hey, 10 minutes max.
Yeah.
And then the more you get, the easier. And then by the end, I just didn't want to stop. Like I wanted to get like 100. I almost want to make a remix and get a fresh 30.
Don't stop. Now, I want to talk a little bit about your relationship with Leonardo Dicaprio, because it was instrumental in bringing this thing and giving it the authenticity that it needed.
I was vaguely familiar with what was going on with like climate change, but I didn't really know much. And one thing that really opened my eyes was his documentary Before the Flood. It was just so well done, and I don't know, I just really enjoyed watching it, and I learned so much. I can't believe that guy won Best Actor, waited his whole life to win Best Actor, got on stage and immediately was like, let's talk about climate change. You know what I mean? Like, so like that always, I don't know, the guy really does like walk the walk. I just thought, I'd like to look into his foundation. So I looked into, and I met with the head of his foundation, a woman named Justin, and I clicked with her so immediately, and I played her the song, and she like literally like got moved to like tears.
When you think about this song and where it relates to in your journey going forward, because, well, wait, you talked about an album.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about that.
Sure.
And I guess this song will feature on the album?
Yeah. It's taking me so goddamn long. So I put my first album out in 2015.
Yeah.
And here we are, 2019, and I'm like, 2 songs away still.
So why?
I think it's because like every song is like an idea. It's like I can't just go into the studio and like pop out songs. Like, like every song takes me like weeks to write. You know what I mean? And I'm 2 songs away from it being like my dream version of the album. Whatever I do now has the last 5 years where I can listen to it and not be upset.
So what's the balance for you between Dicky the creative versus the rap fanatic?
It's so tricky. I think in my heart, I'm a rapper's rapper. You know what I mean? Like I like rapping my ass off, and I think like a lot of my core fans like love that. I have a lot of pride in being able to write like songs at this point and like hits. Like being able to like make a hit is not like something to be taken lightly. Like that's an art form in itself.
So Freaky Friday was an important moment for you.
Yeah, for sure.
That was like, we nailed that.
Yeah, like I made us like a pop hit.
And how do you feel about any backlash that you receive? And by the way, that's commonplace for any artist who's coming out and doing something different.
I'm like the most sensitive, insensitive person ever. You know, like my music and video, I couldn't be more insensitive, but like I'm so like if I see a comment that's like, man, like you really hurt me with this one. Like I was your fan, and like, but like this makes me sad. Like, it makes me so sad. Like, I hate like hurting people's feelings, but like as a comedian, you have to push the boundaries and like make edgy jokes.
What else is moving you right now, bro, outside of making music? Because I know that you're always working in the visual arts and everything else.
Well, I'm making a whole TV show. It's a comedy.
Yep.
Based, loosely on my life. It's just, I've got a very entertaining life.
Do you play yourself?
I play myself. I write it. I feel like really like I was born to do this.
And what's it been like going on set and being a part of that experience?
It's the hardest thing ever. The show is like, it's my show. It's like what Girls is to Lena Dunham, this show is to me. So
and will you have your name in the credits as much as she does at the end of Girls?
I sure hope so.
When are you hoping for it to see the light of day?
Early 2020.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's exciting. What is the next step for you now that you've created this song, Earth?
Tesla.
Word.
That's all I do.
You already know. Welcome to the club, son. Changing the world one drive at a time.
No. First off, it's like staying informed. You know what I mean? Like just simply following the right people on Instagram has like enlightened me. And like instead of like I'm just, instead of just seeing the same thing about the NBA, but I can do things on a micro level and I did for myself. Like don't use straws unless they're paper, which they are. Obviously, I'm going to look for every opportunity to get involved and be like a big part of like, use my celebrity as a thing. But I just think if we can like literally use social media and just outpost climate deniers, like I don't even understand how there's like a faction of people that say that the stuff isn't true. It's like so nonsensical.
When are you going to play live next? When's the touring happening?
I'm not touring until my album's out. I'm not touring off this fucking old music.
And fair enough. And what month are you hoping to get the album? You got 2 more songs to do. What's the hold up?
There's no hold up. I'm getting the beats and doing,
What's the hold up, Lil Dicky?
Taking stabs.
What days are long?
But I'll tour, and I can't tour until I film the show. So it's like,
wow.
So I'll probably tour early 2020.
We love what you've achieved with this product, and I wanted to know exactly what else is going on and how people can get more information and be a part of this whole thing.
Yeah, well, I actually made a website that kind of the video links off to at the end called WeLoveTheEarth.org.
What is it? 1998? You made that sound like it was the greatest thing of all time. Yeah,
so I made a website.
I've made a website. I went to one of these little like generators and I put some colors in.
I collaborated with a few website makers, and no, it's just like I wanted to, because the song does a good job of like at least making people think about it, but it's really not particularly informative. So I wanted people to understand the facts at hand in a way that was somewhat entertaining. So I kind of did a little bit of a tutorial, and it's just me and a turtleneck talking about, it's kind of like climate change for dummies.